Oh my god. Hey guys, so I'm back with Sarah and Lucy once again, and this video is going to be all about Lucy. So just a little precursor to this video, I had just gotten my wisdom teeth out a few days before I shot this video, so that's why my face looks swollen and why I may be talking a little weird. Oh! Lucy, down. Oh, thank you. So obedient. Okay, yep. Ooh, don't eat that. So Lucy is a 2-year-old black Labradoodle golden retriever, and she's only 50 pounds. She's the little runt of her litter. There was only about 12 or 13 of them, if you can tell she's watching Sarah on the other side of the camera right now. But she is like the perfect size for me. I can still lift her up, I can still move around, but she can still push me down if she wants to. So in January of 2017, Sarah and I started volunteering with Heartland Service Dogs. So when she was only 10 weeks old, her and her siblings were brought to training class every Saturday for an hour, and people from the community could come and train them with basic obedience skills like sit, down, heel, and side, which are the 2 commands to stay on the right and left side of somebody. Going into this, Sarah and I just thought that we were going to have a fun time volunteering on the weekends and be able to play with some puppies, because who doesn't want to? But as we started progressing, we realized that Lucy's litter was up for adoption, and 2 had actually already been adopted to be diabetic alert dogs for other high school aged kids in the area just like me. So as I started to find that out, I started talking to the families more. Can you not? Oh. She wants a treat. Oh. So as I started talking to the other families more, I found out that having a diabetic alert dog has so many positives to it. Alright, so now that we gave Lucy a bone, she'll be good and cooperative. So once I found out how easy, somewhat, it was going to be to train her to be a diabetic alert dog, I automatically started scheming up a plan with Sarah to try and get my parents to adopt a dog from the litter. Now, originally, I didn't really want Lucy. I wanted her older brother, Billy was his name, and he was basically Lucy, but at least a good 30-40 pounds bigger than her. He seemed like the biggest of the litter, and of course, I just wanted him. I don't know why, but he was so cute, and he just kind of did whatever he wanted to do, and I really enjoyed that. But then, as we went to go see all of the dogs that were still up for adoption, there was already a family there looking at Billy to be adopted. And I'm actually very happy that we chose Lucy, because I don't know, I can't imagine caring for a 90, 100-pound dog. 50 pounds is enough for me. I can't even imagine a 100-pound dog trying to give it a bath. So we brought my mom, Sarah, and I to the day to go visit all the dogs that were still up for adoption, and we immediately all fell in love with Lucy, who was at the time Addison. So Lucy's litter is called the Cubs litter, so they all were named after Cubs people. So she was Addison, and she had this little yellow collar on, and I remember she was just all over the place. Sweetest, sweetest puppy there, like kissing everybody, but crazy. Running over her siblings, running up to us, chewing on our shoelaces, but we all automatically fell in love with her. So we went home that night, and I could tell my mom was intrigued, and she talked to my dad, and later that week we brought Lucy, who was still Addison at the time, to our house to see how she would do with our dog at the time, Snickers, who was an old grumpy Shih Tzu who kind of liked things his way. So we were really apprehensive, and we knew that if she did not get along with Snickers, we were not going to be able to get her. So Addison came over, and luckily, so luckily, she got along so well with Snickers. She kind of didn't care about him at all. She was more occupied with trying to eat the carpet off of our stairs. Oh. Whatever. She was the sweetest and just wanted to give us all the love and attention that we could ever want. So I remember looking at my parents and looking at the lady who had been helping us so much. Her name is Linda. She's in charge of Heartland Service Dogs. Oh my God, Lucy. And they looked at Linda, who was in charge of Heartland, and they said to her, "Give us a few days to talk it over and we'll see." and I automatically knew that was a yes. My parents would not say give us a few days to talk it over if they weren't serious. They didn't even think that they would be able to do this because a dog is a big commitment, especially a 10-week-old puppy. So for me, this was a huge shot in the dark, but I'm so excited that it worked out. So immediately after we got Lucy, which was in February of 2017, we went to weekly dog training classes with her siblings on Saturdays around 1 p.m. And we would sit with the other people who adopted Lucy's siblings, and in fact it ended up Lucy and 3 of her other siblings were going to be diabetic alert dogs. And we talked about the scent training along with it, public access, and just how to train a puppy in any general manner for it to have good obedience and good people skills. Public access was one of the harder parts for me. I was only 17 at the time, and my parents told me, if you're going to get this dog, it is going to be yours. You're going to take it out. It's going to sleep with you. You're going to take it out in public. Everything is going to be all you, which was at first really daunting, but all in all, it has made me that much more mature. Having something that Can you not do that, Lucy? Having something to take care of at such a young age, especially out in public, taught me a lot of skills. I remember one of my first times taking Lucy out, I put her in her vest and we took a trip to Target. I don't remember what it was for, but I just remember me being a 17-year-old, barely being able to drive by myself for more than a year, with a 10-week-old puppy who was still a little crazy, and just walking around Target and getting stares. Some were really excited stares because, of course, there's a dog in Target. Why aren't you going to be excited? But there was a lot of very judgmental stares I got as well whenever she would act out or bark or whenever I seemed like I didn't know what I was doing. I was a little flustered by all of this, but I kept going out with her. I kept taking her as many places as I could, and by now we're pros. I see somebody looking at me, and I'll address them and ask them if they have a question. I'll answer them if they seem like they're giving me a disapproving look, or if I hear somebody talking about me behind my back, I will confront them. I don't have an issue because Lucy is a dog and she's just trying to do her best, and so am I, just like everybody else. Just because I have an animal out in public and she may not be up to complete strict standards doesn't mean I should be judged for it. Alright, so I'm actually editing this right now, and I just want to reiterate what I just stated. I don't take Lucy out when I feel that she's not fit to go out. So if I'm having a bad day or that I notice she is, I'm not going to be taking her out in public where she may be a distraction to other people. What I was trying to say was, if Lucy is doing her best and I'm doing my best, and she maybe is just itching herself or something that may cause a little bit more noise by her collar, then I'll stand up to somebody. But if she is truly acting up and not to my standards of how she should be in public, which are pretty high, then I will just leave right away. I will not stand there and tell other people that this is okay. I know what's good behavior from her, and I won't tolerate anything less. So as public access was getting easier, I needed to step onto scent training. Now, scent training is the way that we train dogs to be able to smell the chemical imbalance in our bodies when us diabetics have a high or low blood sugar. Sorry about all the tag wrestling too, that's obviously Lucy, and all the camera shakes are from her nudging the camera, of course. So now, of course, Lucy is all up in my business because I have new stuff. But anyways, like I said, scent training is what we do when we're trying to get dogs to be able to smell the chemical imbalance of a low or high blood sugar off of our own bodies. Lucy just pulled Sarah off the bed. That's great. I got tangled. So when I have a low or high blood sugar, what I'll do is I will take one of these cotton swab thingies. I don't even know what you'd call them. Multiples of them, actually. I put them in my Lucy has joined us now because she decided to be good. So anyways, I take one of these cotton swabs. She's intrigued. I'd put 1, 2, or maybe even sometimes 3, stop, in my mouth and let the saliva sort of collect onto them. Once it was fully collected, all the saliva that I thought was good, I put them in these little test tube type thingies. Thank you, Lucy, for inspecting. And then I'd simply put a label on them, write what my blood sugar was and the date. After that, I put it in a sandwich baggie, and then I put them in another Tupperware container into the freezer for up to about 3 months until I want to be able to use them. Stop. Leave it. Hey. Thank you. So then when I was ready to actually scent train, what I would do is I took these tins and just poke some holes in them with a hammer. Lucy knows what they're used for. She thinks it's all a game. And what I do is I take the little spit samples that I wanted. Normally you choose the one from the furthest back date so that they don't go old. You put it inside the tin, put the lid back on, and so they can still smell from the holes right here. So before we could even do tin training, what we would have to do is tell Lucy how to alert. And what that means for me is what I want her to do when she senses my low or high blood sugar. So I wanted her to put her paw on my leg, whether I was sitting, laying down, whatever. So I would simply say, Lucy, alert, and at that point I would move her paw onto my leg and I would give her a treat. That way she learns the association between the word alert and the action of putting her paw on my leg. From there, once she could automatically just alert me by saying the word, then we associated the tin with it. So then, every time I had the tin with the scent sample in it, I would put it on a different part of my leg, she would come and sniff it, and then she would automatically alert me, like she did right then. She also was kind of just moving to get over closer to me, but the whole point of it is, you're supposed to hear them sniffing that tin and putting their paw up so you know that they're smelling that scent and that they are alerting because they smell that scent. And they all think it's just a game because you give them treats and positive reinforcement afterward, but it actually has helped save so many lives. So as I kept training Lucy, it came closer and closer to the main goal, which was to have Lucy come to college with me to watch my blood sugars and make sure that they're stable in the middle of the night. One of the biggest concerns for my parents and myself is that my blood sugar can go low in the middle of the night, and my body one time may just stop waking me up when that happens. Sorry. So right now when my blood sugar's low in the middle of the night, I tend to wake myself up, and it can be scary. Sometimes I'm down to a blood sugar of 30 when I should be above 130. So having something to wake me up in the middle of the night was extremely beneficial for my parents and myself. Unfortunately, scent training is of course what takes the longest when you're training a service dog. So Lucy, even today, still isn't fully trained scent-wise, which isn't a bad thing. We aren't mad at her because she can't do it. We were told there's a possibility it may not work out. This happens with a lot of service dogs. You know, it's like people. You can grow up and train somebody to do a certain thing, but they aren't always going to be good at it. So when we got Lucy, we were told this is not a 100% guaranteed chance that she's going to become a diabetic alert dog and a service dog. We just think that she came from two great dogs and we're hoping with training she can get there. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like she's going to be a full-on service dog, which obviously isn't fun because the whole point of getting her was to be a service dog for myself so that I could feel a little more independent in going out and just to have the comfort of having something that won't judge me for what I'm doing. But as with life and with everything, you win some, you lose some. So in losing Lucy becoming a functioning service dog, I have gained my best friend and an extremely good dog in giving emotional support. Now, Lucy is not an emotional support animal, and I will say this, there's a strict difference between service dogs and emotional support animals. Service dogs have to be able to provide a certain task. They can't just provide comfort. They need to provide an action. So if Lucy were to be my diabetic alert service dog, she provides the action of alerting me when my blood sugar was low or high. Whereas if she were an emotional support animal, she would just be providing comfort to me for my anxiety and depression. So I don't even think I'm going to register her as an emotional support animal, even though she does help me a lot, just because she's a puppy and she's still that crazy puppy that I met when she was 10 weeks old. She still eats food off of the table. She barks when I'm in the shower. She, I don't even know, chases squirrels outside. Typical dog things that just weren't going to be good for her to be living in a dorm or apartment at school with shared walls with other people. It wouldn't be fair to her, it wouldn't be fair to other people, and it wouldn't be fair to me to not be able to have her in the sense that I've always wanted. So right now, Lucy stays here at home with my family, and they absolutely love her. My family will always tell you, yes, she's a mess and she's crazy, but she has a heart of gold. She is so sweet, as you can tell. She'll just lay here with me. She'll sleep. She knows when somebody in our family's uncomfortable or upset. She'll go lay with you. She loves to cuddle, and she just loves to play and make you smile. We've never been mad at her for longer than maybe an hour at most, just because she loves so unconditionally, and we are so lucky to have her. So through this whole process of getting Lucy, I now am a huge endorser of service animals and what they provide and helping out those non-for-profits like Heartland Service Dogs. By the way, I'll link them down below, their website, and you can find them on Amazon Give. So 10% of all the proceeds that you get from Amazon, they will give to Heartland Service Dogs, which is amazing because I know the people that personally work for it, and I'm now a part of a family with Heartland Service Dogs who just want to work giving great dogs great homes to people that really deserve it. So please consider donating them, volunteering. They're always looking for people to be puppy raisers, so you take the puppies when they're 10 weeks old, you train them until they're about 2 or 3, and then you give them to the person in need. And it's a truly opening experience. I'm also just beyond fortunate to be able to have a dog that has shown me how to become more mature, how to handle my stress more. I owe a lot to her, and I've told my parents 1,000 times, thank you so much for letting me get her. She is just such a blessing in my life. She is one of the very, 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 very few things good that came out of me having diabetes, was being able to get Lucy. She just brings me so much happiness. Even when she's a pain in the butt, I know that she's just doing that because that's who she is. She's like me. It's really funny. I see the parallels in between her and I. She makes my hard days, are you kidding me? She makes my hard days where I don't want to get out of bed at all easy. She makes me get out of bed. She cuddles with me. She whines when she wants attention and makes me play with her, and just is a constant source of happiness for me. If anybody has any questions about Heartland Service Dogs, emotional support dogs, dogs and how they help with healing with depression and anxiety, or diabetic alert dogs, anything in that sense, please let me know. I'm willing to talk about it. I am such an advocate for all of those, and I would love to help anybody in any sense possible. Lastly, I'll include some videos and pictures of Lucy throughout her journey, whether it was helping me in classes, getting my blood sugar meter, or just having fun. I'll include those at the end just so you can see what she really means to me. Thanks for watching, guys. Make sure to like this if you want to see more videos with Lucy or service dogs or how to train a service dog. I would always love to inform more people about it, and comment any other videos down below you'd like to see. Alright, thanks for watching.